China's high-tech sector has sizzled over the past 3 decades, stunning the world. That's because the country shifted its national strategy in the 1980s, becoming a leader among developing countries. The nation has continued reinventing its future through science and technology. To this end, China's State Council designated the Wuhan Eastlake High-Tech Development Zone among the first of its kind in 1991. Optoelectronics emerged as a frontier field globally around the end of the 20th century, and Wuhan Zone was listed as a national base for the industry. Optics Valley was born. Wuhan lies in the Changjiang River's middle reaches. It ranks first in the world in both the number of college students and in freshwater resources per capita. Hubei's provincial capital also ranks by some measures as the Chinese city with the third largest concentration of intellectual resources. It's a major base for industry, science, and education, and a national transportation hub. Silicon Valley serves as the global frontrunner for high-tech industries in the U.S. The Wuhan Eastlake High-Tech Zone is rapidly developing in China in a comparable way against the backdrop of the reform and opening up. Today, it contains a host of enterprises, plus 42 higher education institutions, including Wuhan University and the Huazhong University of Science and Technology, and an additional 56 national and provincial scientific research institutes. It hosts about 70,000 registered market players and over 50,000 enterprises. About 60 new enterprises are established daily in the zone. Most work in photoelectric information, biomedicine, high-end equipment manufacturing, environmental protection, and new energy. It also includes the emerging integrated circuit and net economy industries. I'm in Future City, in front of one of Optic Valley's most uniquely shaped buildings. At the bottom, 5 wings are shaped like leaves, and the top looks like a bloom. Future City is one of the 8 parks of Eastlake High-Tech Zone. This flower-shaped building in Future City hosts Wuhan New Energy Institute that uses renewable energy such as solar and wind. China's dramatic economic liberalization has compelled the country to adopt an open and positive attitude toward attracting high-end overseas talent in various fields, such as finance, healthcare, education, and information technology. Consequently, the number of professionals from abroad has exploded over the decades. We're here to meet Jan Bogaerts, Deputy CEO of Yangtze Optical Fiber and Cable. He's one of many overseas experts who's followed their dreams and brought advanced technologies across borders, finding a new home for themselves and their visions. Could you start off by telling us the story of how you ended up coming to Optics Valley in the first place?
I came here in 2002, actually, the first time. And that was because of the relationship with the shareholder here in YFC, which is a Dutch company called Draka. So I was responsible for sales and procurement, and that brought me to Optical Valley in 2002. And after a long period of 12 years traveling on and off to Wuhan, I was given the chance to work here as an expatriate. So I came here in 2013, December. And that was basically my real experience as an expatriate here in Wuhan.
YOFC has been growing rapidly under Bogaerts' leadership. It's among the world's leading producers of optical fiber and cable.
My background is for 18 years in this industry, sales and international marketing. So when I came here in 2014, the first thing that we tried to do is become more international as a company. So we're looking for high growth areas with big population and a lack of infrastructure. Wuhan is really a central Chinese city. So for me, I was still expecting some kind of expatriate life here, which was not there. So for me, it is easier actually to communicate maybe with my local Chinese colleagues and friendship through my colleagues in the company rather than an expat community. There is a French community here in Wuhan from the Dongfeng group, but Dutch people are very rare here. So there is only 5 that I learned so far are here. So very difficult to communicate in my own language. So maybe it forces you a little bit more to integrate with the local community and get Chinese friends.
In this hand, I have a quartz tube. And in this hand, I have a strand of fiber optic wire thinner than a human hair. An optical fiber appears humble, like a simple strand of fishing line. But it can zap information across the Pacific Ocean at nearly the speed of light. It serves as the foundation for such technologies as high-speed data transmission, high-definition and interactive videos, high-fidelity music, and virtual reality. So the preforms then, those are the big quartz tubes.
Yes. We just first make the cores and then we insert our cores into the cladding tube to form integrated preform and then to draw the preform into fibers.
I see. So what sectors then are these fibers used in?
The fiber is mainly used on communication, just like the 3G, 4G, Ethernet, data center, and such kind of things. You have to use the fibers if you need the long haul, high speed, and large data transformation.
We're about to go into YOFC's cable factory. Now, you may remember earlier we saw those quartz cylinders that seem to be almost magically transformed into fiber optic wires. Here is where they are bundled into a final product at the end of 7 steps. This is a final product that is powering information technology all around the world. Can you tell us now where we are and what happens here?
Well, we are right in the cable manufacturing department, and here is the cable manufacturing plant.
I see. And then what is your annual capacity? How much cable can you guys produce in a year?
Right now, we are in the plant, and this plant is now currently is the world's largest single cable manufacturing plant, and the capacity for 1 year is 15 million core kilometers.
15 million.
Yes.
So that is enough to wrap around planet Earth 375 times.
Yes.
Or to connect Earth to the moon and back roughly 15 times.
Yeah, correctly.
So that is an insane amount of cable.
A huge amount.
In the 1970s, Wuhan produced China's first optical fiber, its first optical transmission system, and its first 10,000 watt continuous wave fiber laser. This legacy made Wuhan an ideal location for the founding of Optics Valley decades later. Today, Optics Valley is China's largest base for research and development and production of optical communications, fiber, cables, and devices. The Valley's progress has lured talent from around the world, which has, in turn, propelled that progress. Nearly 4,000 expatriates are based in the Valley, and an additional 40,000 are involved in education and other exchange programs. They are attracted to the Valley by its comprehensive capacity, and they, in turn, contribute to that capacity. So local authorities are doing everything that they can to try to improve local living conditions, to attract and lure more international talent. Groundbreaking technologies power Optics Valley's development and regional growth. The Valley's future city has, for a long time, incubated and fostered various industrial and technological alliances, including those in the fields of 3D printing, industrial robots, spatial information accelerators, and the optoelectronic industry. Here, we can see frontier research programs in science alongside a variety of projects, including the ongoing development of world-class innovative technologies. Science gives rise to technology, and technology gives rise to social progress. Optics Valley is a place where scientific discoveries are translating into technological breakthroughs that are changing lives. Today, we'll visit the future city to see how innovations here are changing society everywhere. Security has been a human concern since even before the dawn of civilization. Increasingly, personal information and intellectual property face the risk of being compromised. Technology poses new challenges to ensuring restricted access. Now, what makes this more useful than other kind of biometric measurements such as, say, fingerprint recognition?
Comparing to the fingerprint recognition, everything provided the much higher accuracy. This is first advantage. This is very useful for the night-scale deployment. The first one, rescue. The second, because it is the non-contact method, is very convenient. It can be integrated seamlessly with the video surveillance system. The second. The third, it is very stable since the fingerprint has the disadvantage of, if we use to put the oil or dust on our finger, then it's very hard to be recognized. But the iris recognition don't have this disadvantage. And the fourth snake, because fingerprint is very easy to be copied, duplicated, and it is not secure.
So there are several things that make it much safer. It's much more difficult to duplicate, and it's ultimately also much more convenient.
Yes, exactly.
Iris recognition technology is considered the most secure authentication system. It's more difficult to copy than other biometric keys, and its applications are expanding as we move into the future.
Wuhan Technologies is developing iris recognition system, and our products are used to help people identify their identity and to define who you really are.
I see. So very sci-fi, but real.
Yes, correct. It is used in very important sectors such as public security, finance, and so on.
So these are areas that are critical to society. And it works. It's really incredible.
You can see here, we are doing research and testing our optics cameras and testing our whole system here. You can see now our staff are working here.
Yes.
Yeah, they are testing the optics components to make sure the whole system is working.
So what we're seeing here basically is the place where the evolution of the anatomy of the eyeball of this system
correct.
is taking place.
Yeah, correct. And now among the whole world, only a few companies are doing this kind of iris recognition technology.
I'd seen this technology in film, but this is the first time for me to both see and use it with my own eyes. It shows how Optics Valley makes the impossible possible and science fiction reality. It really shows us a new world. Wuhan Optics Valley has continued to stand out among China's high-tech zones for nearly 3 decades. Its Wuhan National Bioindustrial Base, also known as Biotech City, ranked second among national biotech parks. It continues to enhance innovation, integrate capital and industry, and optimize its development environment and strengthen its core competence, biomedical engineering. It's also introducing technology services, integrating big data, cloud computing, the Internet of Things, and healthcare to make biomedicine a twin engine of Optics Valley. The Valley hosts many enterprises undertaking research and clinical experiments to advance prevention and treatment, and many are making great strides. We are in the Valley's biotechnology city, and behind me is the building of Youzhiyo, a medical science and technology company founded by Zhou Pengfei. Zhou studied at the University of Maryland and then went on to do his postdoctorate at Stanford's Cancer Center. From there, he took a job as a scientist with US-based pharmaceutical company Schering-Plough. But ultimately, he gave up his life in the United States to follow his dreams, which led to Optics Valley. So, Dr. Zhou, can you tell us a little bit about your experience living and working in the United States and what made you decide to return to Wuhan?
I started medicine in China before, and I went to US for further training in immunology and cancer treatment. So after a few years over there, I decided to come back to China. Government and the local government or industry put a lot of money into this biotech industry. Also in Wuhan, actually they have a lot of talent here. So local universities provide a lot of very well trained graduate here. So it's easy for you to start up.
And what kind of incentives then has Optics Valley in particular provided for overseas Chinese such as yourself who are returning to follow entrepreneurial ambitions?
In the beginning, actually, the government gave, they have some kind of talent plan, like 3551 in Wuhan, and also we call it 100 people plan. So they're trying to draw a lot of like those Chinese origin scientists from overseas to come back to Wuhan to build up those startup companies in this biopark.
Zhou Pengfei's team has achieved breakthroughs in cancer therapy, enhancing rehabilitation. Now we're going to go visit a very specific lab that is developing new diagnostic technologies. These are cheaper, faster, and less invasive. So let's go take a look. Hi, Dr. Huang.
Hi, Erik.
Very good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to our CT lab. So today we're going to show you our CT biopsy system,
Okay.
which we can detect the circulating tumor cells from the patient's blood.
All right.
Here, I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. So here, we only draw very small volume blood from the patient's arm. It's about like 5 ml. Then we can transfer the blood to our specific filter,
All right.
which when the whole blood goes through the filter, only the tumor cells stay on the membrane, then we can check it. So first I will transfer the blood to the filter. We're gonna load the filter to our machine.
All right.
So here, you can see here is all the machine of the CT biopsy. And we're gonna open the door and load our filter into the machine. Then push the button and just check, push yes. Then we'll be done in 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the doctor can count the tumor cells under the microscope. Less than 1 hour, the doctor will get the results, know how much tumor cells in the patient's blood.
Optics Valley has for years remained committed to creating an environment conducive to sustained growth to attract world-class technologies. So, Dr. Zhou, you have been here for 6 years, and you must have seen some very vast changes during this time. Could you tell us a little bit about those?
Right. Very exciting changes happened in this biopark. So in the beginning, we'll have only 20 small companies here, majorly focused on research, small laboratories. But right now, there are over 1,000 companies already in this biopark.
Over 1,000.
1,000, right.
So that's an incredibly rapid change.
Yeah, they are not only doing research right now, they are doing production and also the marketing right now. So some of the companies are growing very big now, right now. This is our laboratory for our antibody drug detection. So we detected the antibody for the affinity, purity, and the function of our antibody drug.
And what else are you working on in here?
So we're developing this antibody drug for cancer treatment. So the technology we call the bispecific antibody. So this is a patented technology from the US. We actually developed it here in China.
Optics Valley's rapid development has lured a growing number of companies, and it has enticed many Chinese living abroad to return to their homeland to launch startups. At the same time, Optics Valley recognizes the younger generation's entrepreneurial zeal and their ability to tap markets. The Valley strives to encourage young innovators with no small degree of success. So, can you explain to us then what you believe is the value of having such an event where the focus is on young entrepreneurs?
首先呢，这次是青铜会第一次从国内和国际接轨，我们新加坡这个国家开始去接轨，来让这个年轻人，中国的年轻人和新加坡的年轻人有这样的一个交流，在创业上有个交流的机会。这一次呢，是我们也是想通过这样的活动，再次整合中国和新加坡这种创新创业服务的资源，帮助两国的年轻人更好的创业。
欢迎大家来到我们今天的光谷新城会520专场暨中西创客融通互联的主题活动现场。第6期极目智能获得了4000万元 A 轮融资。
大家好，我叫李明辉，我来自新加坡。今天我代表的是 Spark Asia， 中文叫做新拍。那么新拍是什么呢？我的伙伴也在发我们的样本。
You said you've been coming in and out of Wuhan for about 8 years. What was it that originally brought you here?
Well, my background, I came out as an architectural urban planner. So when I came to Wuhan, it was especially in Guanggu side, it was actually still very laid back, and there's not much high developments going on. So throughout these 8 years, I've seen very high speed changes to this place. Like for example, I was involved in Optical Valleys at Guanggu Pedestrian Mall. So I literally see how fast Wuhan Guanggu actually grew over these 8 years. And I think it's a very good opportunity for Singapore's startups to actually come here to explore the market.
Influencers can be anybody, as long as you use social media.
Optics Valley's monthly Qing Tong Hui puts young entrepreneurs and investors in contact, making it possible for their dreams to come true.
我们在这样的舞上安装传感器。
通过青铜会这样一个平台，让我们的项目和团队有机会得到一个展示。这样的话，可以面向市场来了解到自己的项目在上线之前，或者是在获得投资之前，它在市场上以及在这种专业的投资人面前，能够得到一个怎样的反馈。同时，我觉得更重要的还有一点就是通过青铜会能够真正的拿到投资，让自己的公司能够达到一个新的台阶，这样非常有助于公司初步的发展。
So then, do you believe that this will become an even better place for investment in the future? And if so, why?
我觉得光谷未来一定会是年轻人创业的首选地点。首先在光谷有非常多的高校。这一点注定了光谷的人才储备非常的充足。第二点的话，光谷的这种扶持政策以及创业的相关的政策非常适合年轻人在这里开拓自己的事业。
College students are a driving force of youth entrepreneurship. Many students in Optics Valley join groups devoted to product development, which in turn promote China's innovation. We're at the Huazhong University of Science and Technology, which is one of many institutions of higher learning in the valley that are devoted to fostering innovation. Now, we hear a lot about artificial intelligence these days, not as much about artificial athleticism. But the machines that are devised by the students of the university's Qingming College are able to do much more than just play sports. So let's go have a look. Hello.
Hello.
So this is my adversary.
Yeah.
I see. Can you tell me a little bit about this robot?
It consists of many technologies such as object identifying and object tracking. This is a deep sensor. It can identify the badminton in the environment and tells the robot how to find it and trace it and then hit it back.
I see. That's very impressive. How long did it take you guys to make this?
About a year, and the most amazing thing about it is completely automated. It can play badminton without our command center.
I see. So there is a bit of artificial intelligence
yes.
mixed in with the artificial athleticism.
Yes, you can compete with it and play several rounds.
Okay, let the games begin. So I'll do an underhand to start off, just to see how my adversary is. Humans won. And machines won. So, congratulations, I have to say. This is a very skilled machine, a very worthy adversary.
Yeah, and we have another one just like tactical like this one, and it serves like small tank. Maybe someday it can be deployed in the future war.
All right, so this is pretty awesome looking, I have to say. How long did it take you guys to make this?
About 1 year or more so.
I see. So
you can see it's like a Batmobile. It needs to steer its wheel, and then it can move left, forwards. Not need to steer it. You can see the direction of its wheels didn't move, but the car moves just like the Batman's car.
It does. So you can go left and right.
Yeah, but you the steer. You can turn around. You can spin in the same position.
That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
People say that Optics Valley is one of the youngest parts of Wuhan, and it is in every sense. It's not only one of the most recently constructed parts of the city, but also serves as a hub for youth. The area hosts many universities that serve as a direct pipeline for its industries. But that's not the only thing that brings young people here. It's also the opportunity to innovate. Live streaming company Douyu.com is also young in every sense. The average age of its employees is about 24. That means that the industry that they now lead was in its infancy when they were in high school. So, we'll visit their headquarters to discover their youthful appeal. And immediately when you walk in and you look around, you see, this is a very colorful. At the reception desk, you've got these dolls, which is certainly something I don't think you would see in many traditional companies. These appear to be video game characters, and it's worth remembering again, this company started off as a video game streaming site. Now it's streaming, other topics and such things. And you look at the walls. There are many murals that are covering it, so to some extent you have a situation where interior design has met graphic design. And from what I understand, it was some of the employees actually of the company that designed the murals that are now adorning the walls here. And the more you walk through this place, really, the more you get this sense that this is not by any means a traditional office. So, one thing that's very interesting about you guys is that you have a very, very different management style from what you see in many companies around the world, and especially in China. You know, it's called in Chinese 人性化管理. And what it means is essentially it's a bit less formal, it's a bit more flexible, it's a bit more relaxed in several ways. Yet it has proven, obviously, to be very effective, as you can see by the success of your company. So, why is it that you decided to adopt this kind of management approach? And do you think it's somewhat related to the sector in which you are working?
我们采取一些人性化管理是，主要的理念就是说，我们希望对于员工来说，工作呢是一件快乐的事情，而不是一件压抑、非常桎梏他的一个事情。我们的工作，因为我们跟我们这个行业特点也有关系，跟我们公司特点也有关系。因为我们这个行业也是说一个互联网行业，它是追求一个快速变化的、竞争也非常激烈的一个行业。而我们的员工呢，又是大部分是90后。我们的现在的员工的平均年龄只有24岁。从就是整个公司的管理角度来讲的话，就是营造一种宽松活泼的氛围，也有利于发挥员工的创造力和想象力。对公司来说，它本身这种管理方式也是符合公司的业务的一个发展特点的，并不会影响公司发展，甚至还能对公司的发展有所促进。因为互联网这个行业需要发散思维，太死板的人反而不太适合这种行业。
Leisure time is totally depends on you. You can relax. We can relax here, and also we can talk about our work here. No, not that formal. Just talk about our works. Some it's kind of exchange our ideas.
I see. So sometimes a lot of the kind of work conversations will happen at the pool table as opposed to the boardroom table, the meeting room table.
Yeah.
And that's your guys' approach. So I just got myself a wonderful cup of coffee right here from this coffee machine in the office, the caffeination station. And this is right across from this board. This board was an idea of the people who work here. They built it, and it's a way that they use to communicate in the office. Right now it says, 为什么咖啡机总没有牛奶? Or, why does the coffee machine never have any milk? Beneath that you see here in English, I need milk. You see a picture of a cute little kitty. We all know kitties love milk. Even without milk, I've got to say, it's a pretty good cup of coffee.
这就是我们的直播间。我们的主播每天在这些直播间里面进行一个直播，跟现场的观众进行各种互动交流。你看前面就是我们有个正在进行一个直播的一个主播，给观众讲解这款手机游戏是怎么玩的。
Yeah, so let's go. Let's have a look. Hello. Hey.
你好。
有观众在问旁边站的是谁。
Okay, give it a try.
这个可以点对战。
All right. Now we've got this guy. He's got a pretty cool hat.
你要保卫你的国王，他要保卫他的国王。
I'm not doing very well. There we are. Some skulls on these guys. I lost the second one. Won the first. Douyu's management style is popular among Chinese born after 1990. Its success has been proven by the company's 100 million users. What's interesting is not only what brings these young people to the Valley, but what they bring to it. New emergent industries and new innovative means of management that are more flexible, that are more dynamic, that are more people-oriented, that is, with a more human touch. This is the transformation that is taking place amid China's rapid social change. China's internet users are increasing daily, and this has changed how they shop. online shopping is especially popular among youth, who often buy online from overseas. Wuhan's strong consumption has increased demand for cross-border commerce, which has been facilitated by the Eastlake Free Trade Zone. Smucker's strawberry, something you don't necessarily expect to see in a store in China. And Nutella, also something you definitely wouldn't expect to see in a store in central China. I think I'm going to get some steak seasoning. We are at Optic Valley's International Trade Exhibition Center, and really, the items that you see here display the increasingly international tastes of local people. The Wuhan Eastlake Free Trade Zone, which is part of Hubei's provincial free trade zone, hosts an international trade exhibition center. The Eastlake Zone's major functions are bonded processing, bonded logistics, port logistics, and bonded services. The expansion of its bonded functions means the Free Trade Zone will be active in the construction of the Eastlake Innovation Model Zone to develop an export-oriented regional economy that supports China's central development strategy. So, can you tell us about where we are and what happens here?
我们现在站的这个地方是湖北快电商监管中心，我们会看到后边这个区域是进口产品的待查区域。国际产品呢，通过国际运输的方式运到天河机场，转换到我们东湖综合保税区，进入进口产品待查区域，先进行一个第一次的初步理货。理货完成之后呢，由我们仓内的查验人员和工作人员进行通过条码枪进行扫描，包裹就进入我们的查验线。您看到的这个就是一个 X 光机，通过 X 光机的扫描，把包裹内的产品的数据、图像数据分别向海关国检进行一个申报。海关国检看到这个产品没有任何异议，通过我们的查验线，整个通关就完成了。
What is the maximum trade volume daily that you can process here?
这个查线的每天的工作量，按照10个小时来计算的话，每天的最大的通单量是6000个包裹。每天呢会有3到4家的电商企业向海关国检进行通关的申报。
Could you describe then the impact that your platform has had on cross-border e-commerce in Hubei province?
在湖北跨境电商公共服务平台未建立之前，湖北的跨境电商企业，多数集中在宁波、杭州、郑州这样的通关口岸进行跨境电商通关。自2015年年底，湖北跨境电商公共服务平台正式上线，湖北的一部分电商企业，也有区外的一些湖北以外的电商企业纷纷转一部分的跨境电商的业务到东湖综合保税区来。尤其现在呢，很多创业型的跨境电商企业也落户到东湖综合保税区，所以现在呢，我们接待的电商企业有100多家，很大一部分电商企业呢是我们本土的电商企业。这些电商企业纷纷来东湖综保区来落户，与这些企业相配合的第三方支付公司、物流公司也来到东湖综保区来开展业务，这样跨境电商的产业链越来越全，跨境电商的整个氛围也是越来越浓，所以也很对湖北省的这个跨境电商的发展有非常大的这种帮助和促进作用。您看到这个区域就是我们的海关的查验区域。你可以看到海关的官员和进包裹进行一个查验。
谢谢。How then would you describe the overall situation in terms of cross-border e-commerce in Hubei province?
跨境电商的发展呢，经历过这样的一个历程。14年是跨境电商的元年，很多城市呢开展了跨境电商的通关业务。15年呢是跨境电商蓬勃发展的一年，也就是在15年年底的时候，我们湖北省跨境电商公共服务平台正式上线运行。
influence then would you say that the free trade zone has had on your company, and what type of influence do you expect it to have in the future?
自湖北自贸区批复之后，我们公司呢，依托湖北跨境电商公共服务平台这样一个平台，准备打造一个外贸综合服务平台以及跨境电商交易的一个商城，为我们自贸区入驻的企业提供供应链的金融、产品产地的认证、溯源、分销以及跨境结算这样的一些业务。同时呢，我们公司现在已经计划在海外建设跨境电商海外公共仓，让跨境的进出口的贸易更加便捷。同时呢，也想服务好我们区内的这些企业，让它的进出口的贸易能够提到能够增多，或者是更多的这种贸易的机会。
China's State Council decided to open 7 new free trade zones in 2016. The Wuhan Eastlake High-Tech Development Zone became the pilot FTZ in Hubei province. It offers multinationals customs, import, and export inspection, and quarantine, logistics, and warehouse services. In the future, the bonded zone will host more international medical, educational, financial, and entertainment businesses, forging a trade domain characterized by openness and liberalization. The Eastlake Free Trade Zone not only offers imports, but also is developing world-class medical and entertainment services. Multinational trade, finance, and commercial companies are moving in. This is, after all, a place in central China where you can enjoy all that the world has to offer.
I've learned a lot during my time in Optics Valley. I've been impressed by the vitality of youth, the breakthroughs in biotech, and the energy of entrepreneurship.
We've discovered a place that was once a swath of wasteland that has been transformed into a technological powerhouse, a place where the future is now. In the coming years, the Valley will continue to innovate to bring China and the rest of the world into the future of tomorrow.